Oh, my thoughts and prayers are with the victims. Oh my God, my thoughts and prayers are with everyone affected by this tragedy. Thoughts and prayers this, thoughts and prayers that. Enough with your thoughts and prayers. As you guys know, we just had like another mass shooting, this time at an elementary school in Texas. 18-year-old perpetrator, 9 years younger than me. So when this kid was born, I was in third grade. And 18 kids? What the fuck, man? And he killed his babushka along with it, his grandma. Like, really? Now I was gonna make this after the Buffalo one where the white supremacist killed 10 people. I was gonna make this video, but obviously, whenever this happens, um, when I hold off on it, there's gonna be another one or maybe three more, just given how common this is, unfortunately. And then there was that one in California. I think the guy was he cited a motive that was like anti-Taiwanese sentiment or something like that. Correct, I'm probably wrong about that. I'm not really too familiar with that, but my point is, thoughts and prayers, they don't do anything, turns out. They don't do anything. They're about as helpful as holistic medicine treating any kind of disease. Like, do you have melanoma? Oh, some lotion will help with that. That's what thoughts and prayers do in regards to these mass shootings. That's what they do. So, and again, this is one of many, many uniquely American problems when you compare this to the rest of the modern world. Whether it's Western Europe, Canada, Brazil, not Brazil, Western Europe, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, um, obviously here, but also like Japan, South Korea, Qatar, Bahrain, UAE, even Kuwait. I would consider this to be like probably a very uniquely American problem in regards to the modern world. I say modern world because go to El Salvador, go to Honduras, go to Brazil, go to parts of Africa, and you'll see this shit happen all the time there, but they're underdeveloped countries, which is why I don't consider, obviously, they're not modern countries. I'm talking in a modern country sense. So, what I propose is to have much stricter background checks. And what I mean by that is do an internet search of these people, include that in the background check. Look like, how when you're applying for jobs and you put down references on your resume or your CV, or whatever you call it, and because what'll happen is, you get the job, what employers will do to the person you're like trying to get the job with, they'll like call up your references and they'll tell you like, oh yeah, he was an excellent employee. Oh no, he was awful. He slacked off so much. Yeah, do something like that, but with the background check. And I think they do that too with employees too. When you just get a new job, they do a social media run on you. Hey, how about doing that with background checks for firearm purchases? Because oftentimes these people leave a large internet footprint. Whether they like spew like all this crap about, oh, he's fill in the blank, these whatever race they're ranting about they don't like, they'll tell you about it on 4chan or whatever, or Twitter even, um, or do some kind of psychiatric evaluation. Look into their medical history, look into their psychiatric history. Maybe a lot of times these people, they threaten to shoot up a bunch of people just you know, at like a school or something like that. There's so many red flags these people have. It's insane. It's insane. So by not having that in the background check is maddening. It's just maddening. Include that in there. Don't just like check their criminal background. Check like, like if they have a history of like flipping out on people, like it might not even be a criminal offense. They can just probably just go ape shit and just be like, I'm gonna like, you know what I'm talking about. But also, and this is gonna be controversial. This is a hella controversial take I'm about to say here. If anyone's on antidepressants, I think, yeah, maybe they shouldn't be allowed to have a firearm as well. Or if anyone it's just not mentally there. Yeah, maybe they shouldn't have one either. You know what I mean? Now, is this going to legislate every mass shooting away? No, of course not. But it will drastically reduce the number of them. You can count on that. It will drastically reduce the number of them we have. Now, one thing that I'm not sure how to solve, I'll admit, is just like regular like homicides, which for the most part, I don't know if they're a lot of them are gang related, but I know in the city I live in they are. The only thing I can say about that is, more job opportunity, more educational opportunity, but again, like that's so broad. So I'm not really the best in trying to fix that particular issue, but I would say it really starts with improving the job prospects of a particular part of the city, or just in the city in general, or in whatever city it might be. This one, Dallas, Denver, Seattle, New York, Atlanta, Miami, Phoenix, you name it. But in terms of mass shootings, what I just laid out, I think can definitely help. And another thing too is the Second Amendment. I think has just been so perverted over the years. I understand there are a lot of responsible gun owners out there. You're fine. I'm not raving about you necessarily, but um, you have dipwads like Madison Cawthorn who multiple times go through TSA airport security, and then they find like a gun in their possession. Like, oh, how did that get in there? And I think responsible gun owners feel the frustration in this as well as I do. If you're a gun owner, always know where that thing is. Always know where it is. And know that you cannot take that shit through security unless you're like a cop or something like that. I know there's a few exceptions, but if you're just an average like civilian and you don't really have earn a profession to use that shit, yeah, don't bring it to the airport. Remember where that shit is. Make sure the damn safety is on. Oh my god. And to the rest of the world, I really don't understand the gun fetish. This is coming from an American who lives here and was born and raised here. I do not understand it, man. I don't. I don't. I mean, when I've heard people talk about, yeah, man, I got like all these guns. They're so. It's like, really? What's the joy in it though? I don't. Again, I just don't understand these people. Um, it's just like it's so crazy how gun crazed we are over here, and again, that's there's no ignoring that when you're talking about these mass shootings. There's no ignoring how gun crazed people are. But I just really wanted to get this off my chest. Just no more thoughts and prayers. Okay, just shut the hell up with that. It's not doing anything. You might as well just be cleaning with just water and no cleaning solution. That's what you're doing when you say thoughts and prayers every time a mass shooting happens. Common sense gun regulation, a much stricter background check, similar to the vetting system we have for immigrants and people coming from like nations experiencing war and conflict. But apparently that's too much to ask.